Defo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
I'll wait for the music.
We usually don't play the music, but
We don't even have to make music.
there's
It's all right.
just have that long.
It just doesn't seem like it's a lunchbox until I hear the. Is that from Oliver Twist? Is that the music? Food
Yes,
Glorious Food?
Oliver. It's from
There it is.
Oliver. The great play,
Look at that.
Oliver.
My
We've got
twin.
we were gonna give Defo a rest of the day off, but I kind of like the way his voice sounds. I don't know if he's doing his Vito Corleone, Marlon Brando impersonation or his Mike Lubie Lubitz impersonation. Welcome to the Lunchbox. It's a Tuesday. We're at home for a rare day of rest. The rest of the week, we're going to be out and about, but I want Defo to get on the mend. What is going on with that voice?
Try to feel. It's the best in the city. Seem fine. I mean, I feel fine. I sound like, I don't want to say it rhymes with zit, but strained the voice a little bit this morning, doing a couple of hours on the Defo show. It was great talking to Jim Larinaga.
Man, was
There's
that
no way I
good.
was bowing out on that, but I guess my enthusiasm got the best of me, and so here I am a couple of hours later, talking like I'm, gonna whack Luca Bronzi.
It could have been Senator Corleone, Judge Corleone. Could have been something, Michael. We just
This is the
ran out of
business
time.
we have chosen, Mayo. That's the way I look at it.
That was Hyman Roth. You got to do the Marlon Brando parts where you come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. No,
On
that
the
was,
day of my daughter's wedding, you come to me with a question like this: be a man.
anyway, it is Tuesday on the Lunchbox. Defo, that was a tremendous interview, and this is what it just goes to show, the value of relationships. And you've been, no matter what outlet you've been on, whether it was AM radio or now on the internet with the streaming shows. Always been a fan and supporter of Jim Larinaga. I don't know if it's because both of you are septuagenarians and you have a kinship, or probably just because he's a damn good hell of a coach, and
Great coach.
he also is a fun guy to talk to. Because anybody who's from New York, one of the boroughs, even though it's the Bronx, that's okay. As a Brooklyn boy, I'll forgive him that. But man, he's just down to earth, and he was tremendous today. We could even spare your voice and just replay that whole 25-minute interview.
It was fun. I mean, as a guy that does a zillion interviews, I just enjoy listening to the guy. We formed a bond, and Lubie knows this, when I mentioned an obscure player that I used to play 3-on-3 against when I was 16. And I just took a shot because I thought he went to Larinaga's high school, and I figured it was around the same time. He's about a year older than me. And I mentioned this guy named Eddie Malloy, who you can't even look him up. He's not even on Wikipedia, this guy.
I know Archbishop Malloy. That's a good
Well,
high school
and I
name,
think
right?
he went to either Archbishop Malloy or Archbishop McCarthy, one of those. So it turned out Malloy went to the opposite school, whatever high school Larinaga went to, which I think might have been Archbishop Malloy. He was his arch rival as a kid. So ever since I brought him up, I guess, coaches like it when you sort of know something about whatever it is, some aspect of the game that they enjoy. And Larinaga's memory is unbelievable for a guy that's 73 years old. So we forged a pretty good relationship, and Lubie stays on top of it with the University of Miami. He does a lot of things, and so it worked out for us. And we're close to maybe booking Dusty May also, but that's a little more suspect right now, because, I mean, I would imagine he is just absolutely inundated with interview requests and probably isn't as accustomed to handling them as Jim Larinaga, who I think always gives us a shot no matter what the circumstances.
No, that's great. And, for those of you who are on the Lunchbox here, if you're watching on Let's Eat South Florida, we're also on the SoFla Live channels, which is on YouTube and Facebook. And Lubie and Defo are still doing their morning sports thing every day from 7 to 9 a.m. And they do get these distinguished luminaries of the local sporting scene on there. And they did have Final Four coaching hero du jour, Jim Larinaga, this morning. And it was really funny. I mean, hearing those stories, and I digress from the food for a little bit, but let's face it, when you have two local teams comprising half the Final Four, we got to go off the menu, so to speak, a little bit. Although I am celebrating, Sarney, Jim Sarney, let me know that today is
What is that on a stick? Was it something
Okay,
I must
so
reference before?
today he let me know that of all these ridiculous food holidays, today is something on a stick day. Now, I didn't want to say the first thing I've thought of, but I did find something that resembled it, which is, and I didn't have time because of the Dickstein Best of Delray Beach meeting this morning. I couldn't run out to my Publix to find something like a corn dog or even a popsicle. So I made my own popsicle using a chopstick from Chinese restaurants and a Klondike bar, which
Oh,
this week
nice.
was
Nice, okay.
BOGO at Publix. So I have my home do-it-yourself, I guess you would call it a popsicle using a stick. So here's my something on a stick salute, and
You did it.
there you go.
Well, once you start with that Klondike, though, you have to finish it. Otherwise, it's just going to melt all over you.
Yeah, now you're
You're
probably
not going to be able to hold that for the whole show, Michael.
It's pretty good, and it's not a lunchbox without me eating. But let's get back to Larinaga. I mean, first of all, it's tremendous, just the way that he talked about his dance moves and how it actually helped him find his wife or get acquainted with his wife at a Irish dance hall social back in the day in the Bronx. So the guy has moves going back decades. That was great stuff, humanizing stuff. And then you got into the nitty gritty of the games, which is also tremendous for sports fans and people who are
How
now
about his
paying
team got
attention.
stuck in an elevator? All 12 guys.
yes, like the day of the
12
game,
guys that size in a tiny elevator.
like the day of the game.
You've been to San Francisco. The smallest elevator I was ever in was in this cheapo hotel.
Were
Lubie
they
and I
in-
were put up in San Francisco when we were covering the Super Bowl there. And he described it that way, like one of those ones with the gate.
The Pullman,
The metal gate that comes across.
with the guy in the little cap who still pushes the buttons to go up and down.
I don't think there was room for that, but
Now they're
Oh, he got
that was a
squished.
great story. Really a good story.
It was, for those who didn't hear it, basically the night before the game, after their team meeting, like half the team or the whole team was in this tiny little cramped elevator at a 100-year-old hotel, and it got stuck, and they were stuck in there for 25 minutes. But he was able to use that because he was hammering home the point that in that game, was it against Houston, that they needed
That was a
to
Houston
crowd,
game, yeah.
they needed
pack the
to
paint.
crowd the paint in order to clog up the lanes. And he's just, during the game the next day, says, the way you were in that elevator, yes, that's tremendous. Just is that you got to crowd the paint the way you were crowding that elevator.
Oh, what a great guy. I mean, he just happens to be a really good guy. You can tell.
No. Where was that game? Where was this
That was in
hotel?
Kansas City.
I think I know the hotel. I've stayed there once for a
Yeah.
Dolphin game. It's a
Wow.
very old hotel, and it does have very old elevators. And next time, everybody knows, take the stairs, even if it's the 20th floor. Oh man, that was good
Imagine the
stuff.
horror, though. You're coaching a team in the Sweet 16 at that point. You're going against the number one seed in the region. You're hoping to get by somehow and get a shot at going to the Final Four. And they call you and they say, "Hey, your whole team's stuck in the elevator."
Well, I mean, it's kind of scary to tell you
Yeah.
the truth, especially if you got to get the fire department out and wedge it open with a crowbar and shut off the power so the thing doesn't jolt up and down, because nasty things can always happen. But
And you're thinking, how old is the cable? If the
Yeah.
hotel's 100 years old.
But I guess the bottom line is when you have that kind of situation and they do get through it, I mean, it really is, I guess, good for team bonding. You just hope everybody's wearing deodorant in the elevator, but that's oh man. So
Well, and he had just emphasized his point, he said, in practice, where they made an imaginary lane area, the foul area, and had everybody stand in there before they got stuck in the elevator.
Yes.
So that was
They had
pretty cool.
just done that, and then we're forced in reality to do it.
you could get the Volkswagen for the clowns, the clown car, or you get the elevator at the Kansas City.
It was
whatever.
Houston that came out of the clown car that day. They won by 14, so it was great.
No, it was Gonzaga that came out of the clown car. They were the chokers of the Elite Eight. Anyway, this cookies and cream, it's starting to melt. Got my something on a stick for Jim Sarney. I am giving Sarney his props today because look, if you would have followed his advice and gotten Dusty May into the Defo show
Early
fold
on,
back
yeah.
in December, you would have to be driving away with a stick. He'd be spending a half hour with you today, but you were late to the party. You did talk to him eventually, not to chide you, because look, let's face it, Sarney is easy to ignore. But I did give him the props today by following through on the something on a stick food holiday.
Which
And,
means he texted me. He's like, "Look, you can put down."
what's up?
That was definitely happening. Defo called it. I mean, it wasn't shocking to see you have food all over.
That wasn't made to be put on a stick. It was made to have the aluminum foil peeled back. Because you still end up with like mush in your hands. It's hard to eat a Klondike bar without getting dirty.
It usually doesn't get to the point with me where it melts because I do down them rather quickly. And here we go.
You could do one in one bite. I think I've seen you do that with other size objects of similar nature.
Absolutely. So tell me, was it Salazzo all along, or was it
Bonzini?
Marzini all along.
Yeah.
Salazzo, he's a pimp. I can't take it today. This is great.
Tattaglia was the
Tattaglia was the pimp. I've gotten it all mixed up. That's what happens. And I'm only in my 50s. Can you imagine when I
it's not pretty, Michael. I can assure you. You don't want to get to here.
Hey, believe me, I'm doing my best not to get there.
You are. You're self-sabotaging yourself in a perfect
Exactly. You're not gonna make
but I'm having a great time doing it.
God.
It's great. It's Tuesday.
It's always great getting a text from you, especially when you've eaten somewhere, because there'll be like 100 pictures. It's like going through 2 weeks of Let's Eat South Florida.
It's like, how many meals was this? This was
all from you.
I got ice cream on my nose now. This turned ugly in a hurry. Hey, I got a story
it's from
you.
Listening to Sarni once again. Sarni taking a perfectly good show and turning it into mush.
There's two paths with the Sarn. Sometimes he leads to genius, and other times it's just utter ridiculousness. All right, so we do have our rest of the week lined up. We are giving ourselves a breather today. Had a good time at Grandpa's yesterday. Missed you. I understand Lubie did not drop off the soup or the knish that we had packaged up.
I spared him because he says it's on his way, but I don't see that. He lives out west. So I don't know where he was going. I mean, maybe he was going to the beach yesterday.
95. I take 95 all the way down to Sample. So you're
I'm well off 95 to as far east as you can go. So I figured I'd save the kid at least a half an hour, maybe more, by letting him down the knish in the car, which I expected anyway. So, I didn't want him to stop here for half a knish and a piece of a matzo ball.
It was a good looking knish, let me tell you.
I love their knishes. They're
golden
great.
brown edges. Yeah. But yeah, the soup, he can always, we'll give it to you at a later time, but it's it would help the throat at this point.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah, I feel fine. I probably just need to, probably go the rest of the
yesterday
day.
Okay. Yesterday was very weird for me because I had this, like, I don't know what it was, but like a 24-hour flu or whatever. I had no appetite yesterday, and even Lubie will vouch for me. Like, I hardly touched that soup. I took a couple of sips of it, which helped. The Jewish penicillin is always good, but it wasn't until, and it was like exactly 24 hours, about 9 o'clock last night. I started feeling back to myself again, and I had a little slice of pizza, and was able to get through that. So we're back in action today, feeling fine and fit, but it was good yesterday at Grandpa's, getting ready for the Passover holidays, and Mark Freed and Dee, the lovely manager. Go see them if you need any of the provisions.
I did get Tony Segredo's report.
Oh, what was it?
On tomorrow, and I was like, how was the Grandpa's? And he was like, excellent.
Oh,
He's
good.
Like, Eagles are so big. I'm like, I know they're big, and they have the actual New York taste. He's like, I know, it was amazing. Thanks for
puffy and chewy and a little bit. Yeah, that little crunch on the outside. So yeah, I got to give Tony a call today. I'm catching up. And what else? So tomorrow. Oh, so here's the funny story. Well, tomorrow we'll be at Even Keel Fish Shack for our monthly visit with Brad, and we always love seeing him. And we'll see if they're still in spring break mode. I don't know. I hear it's kind of petering out the crowds a little bit, but some of the kids and students are still on break, but it's been swamped down there on all the beachfront properties, restaurants, and whatnot. So that's going to be fun. And then Friday, of course, we'll be at Gulfstream, and it's going to be a big Friday, the day before the Florida Derby, the big race of the year. So Florida Derby Eve show. Who knows what guests will show up this week? And hopefully Defoe's voice will show up also.
I'm going to give it 100% by tomorrow.
Okay,
that's my prediction.
Start gargling with the tea with lemon and honey.
Yeah, and also the salt water. Yeah, there's things.
But meanwhile, so Thursday, which was kind of an up in the air thing, we are definitely doing a Visit Lauderdale show with Nikki Mohan to celebrate Women's History Month. But I finally got it locked up today. We're going to be going to one of my favorite places in Fort Lauderdale for Chinese food, traditional Chinese American food. Nice. Christina Wan's Christina Wan's, I believe it's called Mandarin House, but it's in Fort Lauderdale. It's right on the edge of Victoria Park there, on Federal Highway, North Federal Highway and 6th Street, I believe. But Christina Wan's has been in that location for almost, I guess it's 19 years, since 2004, 2005. Christina is she's the owner operator, but her family came to the States from Hong Kong. She was born in Hong Kong and has had restaurants in South Florida since the 60s, since 1966. She's a great owner operator. I love going in there and getting some of the traditional, like Sunday night Jewish family Chinese food classics, like the spare ribs and the fried rice. She's gonna, obviously regale us with some stories and just her impressions through the years of restaurant ownership, and also, when I was talking to her about, that we were spotlighting some, the women owners, and she goes, "There's really not that many, are there?" And I was like, "Well, there's a lot of husbands and wives, but when it comes to just actual women by themselves, yeah, you're right. There's not a lot." And she's also been instrumental in the Fort Lauderdale food scene in backing other restaurants, including her nephew. Alex is the proprietor of the Temple Street Eatery, which is a few blocks south. So that's it's going to be fun talking to her. But the thing is, I went to the Catherine for brunch on Sunday. As I walked in, I noticed there was 2 people on the outside patio eating. 2 Asian ladies. I didn't realize it. But then when I called Christina today, she goes, "Were you at the Catherine on Sunday?" It's like, "Yeah, I went in for brunch by myself." She goes, "I thought that was you, but I wasn't sure." I was like, "That was you outside? I didn't even stop and recognize." So kind of funny small world, because I just happened to call her out of the blue. I haven't talked to her in years, and we ended up crossing paths on Sunday at the Catherine. So
Nice.
that's a small world department. But Nikki Mohan, me, you, and the whole gang Thursday at Christina Wands in Fort Lauderdale. Meanwhile, it is just action-packed this week. Who do we have on the line today joining us but one of my favorite people, one of my favorite eaters, bloggers, man about town. We're talking about the one and only Sef Gonzalez. You know him as Burger Beast, and he is having another one of his patented big juicy events this weekend, Friday night, and that's called Hamburger House Party. We welcome back to the Lunchbox. Looks like he's got his Gothic cave going there.
Hey,
How are you today, Beast?
Good. How do you like my dude? No, you were.
You look nice.
I'm scared.
Look at you.
Well,
yeah. To answer my this is normally our like where we hang out and watch movies, Marcel and I. But you can kind of see back there. That's part of the museum stuff that's found its way here to our house since we finally shut down the space a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay. And I'm sorry to hear that. But now, for people who don't know your full background, at one point you like worked in or ran and operated a video store, and you were into like all the horror and Gothic.
Right.
I have this right?
I had a long career of retail management. In around 2000, I had enough, and I said, I'm going to open a store, and I opened a cult film store. So it was we had regular films, but mostly it was horror films, independent films. The kind of place that you kind of see in the movies, by director, that sort of thing.
What did you go back to, like the silent film era? Like was it Nosferatu? That was one of the scariest ones. Yeah, is that?
Yeah. We had Nosferatu. Yeah. We have, and that's mostly the stuff that Marcel and I are into. Kind of, you see back there. You see the Raven. I don't know.
Yeah.
See if I can that way.
Okay, there you go.
Frankenstein.
That's young Frankenstein. That's Madeline Kahn, right?
No. That's the Bride of Frankenstein. That's also Lanchester from.
I got it all wrong. I could talk all day. And meanwhile, and you mentioned your lovely wife, Marcella. I love. Well, can I say this on the air? I guess her Instagram handle is just at Gothic Pussy. So that's her.
so that actually ties to the store. She started that. She used to sell Gothic clothing when we had the store. So that's where that name came from.
And she liked cats, so there you go.
we have a cat named Boris after Boris Karloff, the Frankenstein monster.
Oh, that's
very nice. All right, let's talk burgers and Hamburger House Party. What's the deal? Are there still tickets left? Where? When?
There are tickets left. So you could probably the easiest way is just go to burgerbeast.com or on my Instagram. The link will take you right to buy the tickets. You'll be happy to know I believe there is one restaurant with lettuce and tomato.
Shocking. How did they get through? How did you let this happen?
I felt bad for them.
So for people who don't know, what exactly is the Hamburger House Party? How much are the tickets? How much should they be prepared to eat and drink? What's give me
so yeah, the Hamburger House Party, this is, I believe, the 7th edition. I took 4 years off the pandemic, right when I took out a book in 2019 called I wrote a book, I should say, all about the burger, about the history of the burger. That was the last time we did the event, and then we had this unfortunate series of years that kind of limited what we could do. Last year we didn't do it, decided to finally bring it back this year because everyone was asking me when it was happening. Mike was a judge at one point. He thought he was very funny. He brought lettuce. I don't know if you remember you brought tomatoes, but you did bring a bag of lettuce.
I brought a bag of shredded lettuce when I was one of the judges one year. And Beast, for all those who, he's kind of allergic to lettuce.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. People think I'm allergic to all veggies. Vegetables. That is not true. Lettuce
anything green.
Yeah, no, that's not true. I actually just don't like lettuce. In particular, shredded lettuce. I find that revolting.
Figures Mayo would bring it to the party.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I'm there for.
And
too.
I'm pretty sure he brought it on stage with him and was showing it off from the stage.
I think I was tossing it like confetti just to make sure I never got invited back again.
You were tossing the salad on stage, correct? And so I invite a bunch of restaurants that I like, and then everyone's able to vote for their favorite. We crown a winner. And it's back this year. There's 13 restaurants. We actually have someone coming from Jacksonville, Carolina Jacks, very good. They won in 2019, and that's in probably around 5 o'clock. I'm going to be releasing the so you can see which burgers everyone's making for the event.
Any of those chorizo burgers in the mix, or is it?
There are zero.
Fritas.
It's all there are no fritas.
No fritas, which is kind of an upset. Also, 1 lettuce and 0 fritas. What is happening to you, Beast?
Well, we had a frita at Croqueta Palooza, and Frita was its own event at one time. It was called the Frita Showdown. So I think it kind of mixes. It actually technically mixes with both. It could be in the burger event and it could be in Croqueta Palooza, but yeah.
This is pure beef burgers. Any lamb? Beef. Do you allow any? None of those hoity-toity fancy.
There's no such thing as a lamb burger. Come on, everyone knows that.
I've seen a few.
Chicken burger. That's not a thing.
Yeah, that could be a lamb patty, maybe not a lamb.
There we go.
Just like pork. There's actually on my YouTube. I came out on, I think it was a Swedish program, and the chef made me a pork. As he called it, burger, and I said, "This is a pork sandwich."
Hey, that happened to me when I went to one of our favorite places that you just went to, also Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. Usually, I can't resist their burgers; they have great ones there, and we love Lenore and Richie and Beth. They were all there the day I went. It was a rare trifecta to see the entire Gilbert clan, and but I ended up getting their roast pork sandwich, which is like a Brooklyn or Catskills throwback. It's like a kind of honey glazed roasted pork sliced thin that they then put on garlic bread with some duck sauce and hot Chinese mustard. And when they have that on the specials board, I can't resist it there, but I do love their burgers. So let's talk burgers. What's new and notable around town, whether it's in the 305? Is there anything that's tickled your taste buds lately?
Yeah, the guys who own Dulce Provision, Justin and Lassetti, they're opening a new restaurant right at the entrance of Little Havana. It's called Social 27. Should be open in about 3 weeks. We got a taste of what's going on there. We do a burger club. I think you are familiar with that. I have a burger club. We have about 75 members, and we do a meeting every other month. And they let us in, and they let us try their burger. The chef from that restaurant is actually participating in Hamburger House Party under the name From Boy in Kitchen. He kind of moonlights. He has a burger moonlighting gig doing pop-ups. And so that burger is killer. The onions are cooked in Iron Bel and Malta, 2 Hispanic soft drinks.
Malta is like it's like a soda that's down in. Is it out of Colombia? Was it a Colombian drink, or
it's kind of most countries everywhere have it. I actually kind of find it revolting, to be honest.
I agree. My wife.
But the onions taste are good.
So, hey, I keep badgering you that we should go out and do some burger eating one day because I don't know if you've gotten to try that. Two places that I've been trying to get him to try in Broward because it is almost Burger Month, and I think we're going to be doing some burger lists or something like we
Right.
used to do. And the best burgers in the 305, and then also the Broward and Palm Beach area. The ones I've been hyping you on in the in the 954, CJ Black's that has that In-N-Out knockoff burger, which is a little bit bigger and fancier than the actual In-N-Out burger in California, but
What makes it an In-N-Out? Is it because it tastes like it, or are they cooking the patties in mustard?
I think they dunk them in the mustard sauce, but
okay.
I could be wrong. And then the way they have it with the, the cheese and the lettuce, it kind of looks like an In-N-Out,
We have animal sauce,
except bigger,
version of that.
animal style. But they call it that. I just liked it. I thought it was a big, nice, thick, juicy burger, and they will cook it medium rare. Unlike In-N-Out itself these days, they won't go medium rare anymore, which is one reason that I think they've trended downward badly. But the other place I'm trying to get you is in Wilton Manor. It's a place that Norm Kent first turned me on to, and Norm hanging in there. I understand that he wants to go to the Marlins opener this week, which is great because I understand that he's had his ups and downs in his cancer battle. But this place in Wilton Manor is called Burgers and Beers, operated by a guy from Ohio. Just a small little grill place with a couple of seats, real hole in the wall. But man, their burgers were good. Have you been in there yet, or did
I have not? The last time we were planning, you and I were planning to go there together, and you just said a trigger word for me, which is the guys from Ohio, because I think Ohio is like the burger capital of the U.S.
Oh,
So
nice.
you telling me that all the great old school burger joints are in Ohio or
Then
started in Ohio. I mean, even Miami's Royal Castle, which is still well known down here, and we have one location. The founder of Royal Castle, while he started in Miami, he's an Ohio guy, and he got the idea from White Castle, which is based of Ohio.
I think you dig this place because it's like, no nonsense, no pretension. He's just got some tap beers and bottled beers and just really damn good burgers. We got to get there. But anything else around in, I guess, anything that you've tried lately? Did you go to someplace in Boca, or no, you didn't make it there, right? That's
No, I the last few weeks has been crazy with shutting down getting all the artifacts out of the museum, packing them up, getting them into storage, making my living room look like a storage unit.
This was the Burger Beast Museum that was at the Magic City Casino in that little area, and unfortunately is no more. You've anything donated to the Smithsonian, or is there any
kind of by technicality, the History Miami Museum took off my hands an original Mago de las Fritas sign, a whole slew of postcards, menus. I donated. There will be a Burger Beast collection now at the Miami History Museum, which is part of the Smithsonian. So it's associated with the Smithsonian. So super cool, and they got a bunch of awesome one of a kind stuff.
Gentlemen, do you have any questions for the Beast himself?
I was just going to ask, and I know we've had you on, but I know we've lost some viewers, listeners over the years. What is your take when they do the smash burger? Because I know I be of the crust. I like it, and I know Mayo loves it.
Wait, no, I don't like the smash burger. I'm a beef.
You like the smash burger? I thought you said you like. Okay,
no, I'm more of the big beefy.
I like
steak burger
crust, and I understand the flavoring, but it's hard to make a smash burger medium rare to me. So to me, if you can't make it nice and juicy and medium rare, then it loses points to me. What is your take, Mr. Burger Beast, on the smash burger craze? Because it seems to be everywhere now.
It is everywhere. I was just talking to someone recently. They were telling me how much they love smash burgers, and smash burgers just gained popularity, but it's been around. I mean, that's something that Walt Anderson from White Castle in 1916. That's what he did. He was the first one to really make a burger that was smashed down on a flat top. Now with the Maillard reaction, which is that crust thing, that's the thing that people are looking for. When I started doing pop-ups in 2017, I was doing a smash burger, but not like these that are like paper thin. Mine are a little thicker.
Okay.
I also think that it's very popular because anyone who's cooking it it's really a technique. So you don't need to have the skill set of a chef to be able to cook the temperature. And I enjoy both types of burgers. I like thick, juicy burgers. That's why I go to Gilbert's. That's what I like, the thick, juicy burgers. I get the smash burger thing, but it also kind of gets a little samey when someone's doing an Oklahoma onion burger and you have it here and you have it there. What's really the difference? How thick the slice of cheese is, how many onions they include. And I do love them, but when someone writes me and they're like, "Oh, I started this truck, or I started this restaurant, I want you to come try it. It's a smash burger." I'm like,
The same as
I'm not exactly excited,
What I like, and I guess that's what you're alluding to, Lubie, is that when you do get something that has that really hot griddle, and you can get the sear but still keep the medium rare kind of juicy, bloody texture in the middle. Like, I'd like to see somebody do burgers in a wok where you just have like really hot oil and you just like drop in a little rare meat and flip it once and do it for 10 seconds and just like take it out. I don't know if anybody's ever done that. And it reminds me of where we're going tomorrow for our remote show, Even Keel Fish Shack. Even though their specialty is seafood, they have a really damn good double patty smash burger, but it does, if you ask, request it rare, they'll do it rare and it comes out great. So, but usually I'm getting fish there. That's another place you wouldn't think to be eating a burger, but someplace if you're ever in the Lauderdale by the Sea area, besides Billy Jack's Shack, which I think you've been to. Have you been?
They have great burgers there, no question.
I've been there. I'm dying to go there. Another burger that's probably not on your radar and very hard to find is a smoked burger. And most smoked burgers, obviously the burger gets smoked, so that's how the meat gets cooked, but then they sear it on the outside once they take it out of the smoker. So you get the crust and it gets very juicy. And if you're into the smoky flavor, which I'm really, who isn't, it's great.
Do they crumble some bits of a cigar on top of it too? That gives you the real tobacco leaf. That's kind of like lettuce, I guess.
I prefer when it's the guy cooking the burger with a cigar
and the ash
off the edge of his lip.
That's the old school diners. Yeah, we like that. Hey, again, where is the Hamburger House Party? Where is it going to be held?
It's going to be at Magic City Casino, right near the Miami airport. And
this is awesome news. It's Friday night. You were gracious enough to send me a ticket. I'm going to be there, and I'm also bringing a wad of cash to play the poker room down there because they're all maniacs in that poker room, and all you got to do is be patient, and you'll get their money because they'll play any hands all the way to the river. So it's a lovely venue. We love Magic City Casino.
I don't think I've ever even stepped foot in the poker room, to be honest.
It's better that way sometimes, but I love it. All right, so that's Friday night at tickets remain burgerbeast.com. Beast, I understand you ventured into the poultry side of the street. You were in my neighborhood. I didn't even get a phone call. Very offended. But tell us about your adventures at the place that Defo first spotted before it was open. And it's called what? Hot Cluckin' Chicks? Is that right?
Cluckin' Hot Chicks. Yeah, I actually had left, like you mentioned earlier, I was at Gilbert's. When was that? Was that Thursday or something? And I decided just to take, what is that, Road Federal? And I was driving down. And I wanted to go. I saw Quickies. I stopped there because Quickies was a favorite of mine a long time ago, but the original owners are long gone. I wanted to try.
No good. It's been a sad decline.
The cheesesteak was surprisingly good.
Okay.
The burger, no, thank you. And so I'm going down. Yeah, I'm kept trying. I actually called the original owner of Quickies and told him, hey, look, this is what's going on here. It's just and I'm driving down, I see that Cluckin' Hot Chicks. I make a U-turn, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta try this out." Which Nashville Hot is kind of the equivalent of a smash burger, right? Everyone's doing smash burgers now. Everyone's trying to do Nashville Hot chicken. Yeah.
And your thoughts on it was?
I didn't get any of the sides, so I got the tenders. They're big, juicy tendies, as they call them. I had the chicken sandwich. If you're into the Nashville Hot style, and I think you mentioned, I guess. I guess you went when it initially opened.
Yeah, that first week it was a madhouse, and I just wanted to just drive through and get a quick sandwich and check it out. And they were a little bit disorganized, and it was one of those where they were so backed up. It was like, could you pull around to the side and we'll bring it out to you? And then it's like 15 minutes later, and you get your sandwich. And I just got the sandwich alone. I didn't want the combo. It was $9 just for the sandwich alone. And they said when I was at the window, you want everything? And I was like, yeah, I want to see how they prepare everything. It had like this coleslaw on it, but no pickles. And when I have a Nashville hot chicken sandwich, I want pickles. So, I didn't go on full blast and put it on Let's Eat South Florida, but it was one of those things. It's the first week, you give them time, and I was going to go back, but I just thought, from the price point of view, because there's a Popeyes literally like 100 yards away north, and Popeyes, I think when you just get their sandwich alone, I don't know if it's $3.99 or $4.99.
I think it's like $5-6.
But it's like, this was it was double the price of what you get at Popeyes, and I don't know if it was double the value or double the quality. But look, I wish them well. I'm going to try it again. But it was, like a hot, crunchy chicken sandwich, and but
in an old Checkers building.
In an old Checkers building,
Exactly.
where I have some very bad flashbacks of drunk nights eating some of those, whatever they call them, double cheeseburger, 99 cents, whatever you get for 99 cents these days. It just
Checker burger. I think
there's a reason.
You get what you pay for. So, but so all right, you eat chicken. You try not to eat lamb burgers. And, you will be eating.
There's no such thing, so I can't eat them.
Godfather, do you have any questions for the Burger Beast?
You know what? We always get references to Jack's Old Fashioned, which I'm a fan of.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've had burgers there. I haven't had one in a while. but I always liked it. So, what's your thoughts on that? People
love it. Love their relish too.
And we've got
mustard relish.
Nice. And we've got a
I think they'll cook it any way that you like. Also, so
Jack's does rare or medium rare. I thought.
I think they do.
Okay.
The last time I was there, which was a long time ago, I passed what might be the original location from time to time, and they always were very satisfying, and they had great fries also, and pretty reasonably priced.
And it's in an original Burger Chef building.
Burger Chef, is that the one on Federal in Fort Lauderdale, or the one on Cypress in Pompano? Because they have
not
two
the Pompano, though, the Federal one.
The Federal one. Okay, good.
That's a Burger Chef building. There aren't many of them left, actually. There was one in that was another burger joint that I ate. I think it was in Kentucky. They just recently tore it down. So those buildings are kind of getting harder and harder to find.
All right, 2 questions from our lovely audience. What about turkey burgers, Beast? What's your opinion on turkey burgers?
I didn't know such a thing existed.
One has never passed through those lips, I imagine.
No, I actually enjoy them. I won't refer to them as such because that's preposterous to even refer to something as a turkey burger. But I do have a quick turkey burger story for you. When turkey patties started kind of becoming readily available in the supermarket, I had a George Foreman, and I used to buy them and then I would cook them, but I would put the edge of the George Foreman into near the end of the sink, so it would just drip all the oil in there. And Marcella got so fed up with me, she just threw away my George Foreman.
Question from Jim Sarney. Have any opinion on the Burger King burger melts?
Yeah, when they're perfectly executed, they are very, very good. It has caramelized onions, which
Really?
Yeah. They have a spicy one with jalapenos, and it didn't really do anything for me. But the regular one with caramelized onions, and they were called Whopper melts last year when they came out. I'm not sure why, because they're not the size of a Whopper, they're the size of a double cheeseburger, but it has like a round bun that's toasted. And if you are in the North Miami area, there's a Burger King right off of 125th and I-95. It's Burger King number 17. It actually is the 17th Burger King.
My lucky number. I love it. I'll have to
you should check it out. It has a bunch of old pictures of the building and everything inside. Still the original owners from 1959 in there. And that's the best run Burger King I've ever been to.
Wow. 125th, just off of 95, is that?
Yeah.
To the east or west of 95?
To the west.
To the west, okay.
Yeah.
My daughter has a friend going to the east, so I'm going to have to check out that Burger King.
Okay, before we let you go, Chef himself chimes in, patty melt, yay or nay?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love patty melt. There's actually, so at Hamburger House Party, Carolina Jackson's coming from Jacksonville. They won with what they claim to be a patty melt, and I harassed them so much because it's on it's on a Martin's bread, and he has a sauce on it. I'm like, this is a delicious melt. This is not a patty melt. So he's actually competing with that same burger, but it is called not a patty melt.
Nice. Hey, Beast, can you stick around? Because we got a lot of questions loading up in the queue here about
Sure.
burgers. It seems to be a popular topic, and we got to do some business here. But hey, leading into the business, our live spot, here's a question for you. Have you ever been to Tropical Acres Steakhouse in Dania on Griffin Road and gone to the bar for happy hour? Because they do a sliders using ground sirloin.
Oh, the
Two
sliders are
ground
legit.
sirloin sliders for
They're
$6.
cooked to order. Like,
Have you ever been,
$6.
have you been there?
No, I wasn't even aware of that.
Okay, I've put that on your radar now because as far as values go, I mean, you can't beat Tropical Acres any day, but especially when you go in there on a Monday or Tuesday for half price wine night, and of course they got happy hour in the bar Monday through Friday from 4:30 to 6:30, where they have half price on all the drinks, including the premium stuff. So I get my Belvedere martinis for about $7.50. It's incredible, along with their happy hour menu that has things like coconut shrimp and escargot and caprese salad. But the best thing of all for you, Burger Beast, would be those two sirloin sliders, big, hefty little steakhouse burgers on these
you
buns.
can literally get it rare if you want.
And you
Like,
can get it
sliders.
rare, and man, they're good. So Tropical Acres is at 2500 Griffin Road, and they're open every day but Sunday, but they will be open Easter Sunday. You want to get your reservations now, so call them up. They'll be open Easter Sunday from 1 p.m. till 8 p.m. with a special holiday menu. Of course, besides the bar and the happy hour, you could go in there. The dining room is open every day, Monday through Saturday from 4:30 on. The great value for the early bird the first half hour. Then you've got the prime rib, the filet mignon, all the goodies, lamb chops, probably not Burger Beast's thing, but you would like that prime rib too. So me and you, we're going to have to do a Broward tour soon and do all kinds of eating. We'll wrap up at the inimitable, unbelievable Tropical Acres since 1949, the Studiali family. They'll treat you right. TropicalAcres.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
1949. Love that too.
Do this.
It's good.
I'll do it so we can save the Mr. Voice.
Yeah.
This is Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We're going to come back with the one and only, the man himself, Burger Beast, I guess, answering your questions next here on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox on South Florida Live.
People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent. Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. It's a Tuesday home edition. We've got Defo on the mend trying to rest his voice. He sounds like Marlon Brando.
Sound like crap. You can put it that way.
We're giving you
Sound like
great.
absolute garbage.
And Lubie, his voice is sounds like it always does, which is distinct, and we love it. It's
Sorry.
some people say it's an acquired taste. For me, it was love at first listen. And we are joined today by Sef Burger Beast Gonzalez. He is throwing his Hamburger House Party once again this Friday night at Magic City Casino. It's going to be great. I'm going to be there. I'm going to see who else we could get to come.
Let me ask you, because I'm interested. I'm just curious. Magic City's a little bit of a drive, but to be with the Burger Beast himself and check out his event, it's worth it. What does the ticket get you? Like, is this like a thing you pay the ticket and then you get to try burgers, or is it just get you in, but then you pay for, like, what is the ticket?
It's all you can eat, all you can drink. We have about 10 different beers and breweries. We have some vodka, rum. We do have this new sub shop. It's really great. It's called Subby Subs. It's in, I guess that's Core. Yeah, it's South Miami. It's like right on the border of South Miami, Coral Gables. We have BurgerFi will be there. They're actually doing their fries, and then we have some great desserts like Mojo Donuts. Crybaby Creamery is going to be there. Herrera Las Fritas, who does fritas, is actually doing shakes with rum in them, so they're doing boozy shakes. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. It's $75 per person, and everything's included. No one's going to stop you if you overindulge. I'm no one to stop anybody. So.
And as somebody who's been to his events, it's well worth the money. No doggy bags allowed, but you can definitely get your money's worth eating and drinking at the event, and high quality stuff. He definitely likes to deal with good restaurants, quality eateries, good burgers. All right, so the people are lined up with the questions here. First of all, somebody's asking about, is it true Jack in the Box is coming to Florida, and what's your opinion on Jack in the Box?
Yes, Jack in the Box is coming to Orlando area. There's someone who's open. I believe it's 3 or 4 locations in Orlando. They have not given a date, but Jack in the Box, a lot of people don't realize Jack in the Box was in Orlando, Central Florida area in the late 70s, until I think around 1980. And they're a fast food place. I mean, I used to love
the appeal.
A lot of people are unaware, even though it's kind of known as a burger joint. They actually sell more tacos than burgers.
Yeah, I was going to say the tacos. I think I've had them more.
Was it a California thing? Because I remember seeing a lot of them when I would go on family trips.
Very much so. Yeah, very popular in California. All over the place.
It. All right. Well,
yeah, they do sourdough, which is
I'm sorry. If you were to drive to Orlando, what would be your first burger stop, fast food wise? White Castle or Jack in the Box?
White Castle. White Castle does White Castle is doing a lot of people don't know this, for maybe about the last 3 years. They've been doing a burger called the 1921, which is the year they officially became White Castle, and they do a smash burger now there. And it's not, and I want to be clear, it's not smash burger in the same way we're thinking. It is a piece of ground beef that is put on a clamshell,
Yeah,
And,
steamed kind of. Yeah.
no, it's not steam. It's actually like a giant George Foreman. Is the best way I could describe it. And
like
when I did my book signing tour, I did it at the main White Castle store, and they let me cook one of the burgers, which was very simple because you just put a puck of beef. They put Laurie's seasoned salt, and it was Laurie's because it saw the and then you just assemble. And they actually do unfortunately put lettuce and tomato on it.
Was that one of the defining moments of your life, like Jim Larrañaga going back to the Final Four or something, getting to cook the White?
It was pretty great to be there. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, somebody's asking about the 561 in Palm Beach area. Our friend Andy, who lives up there, says, "Have you ever been to? You're familiar with Tropical Smokehouse?
Yes.
Is a barbecue joint." But he says, "How have you had a burger? How about the burgers at Tropical Smokehouse in
Very, very delicious."
That's cool.
I went up there, tried it. I had some of the barbecue, but I went specifically to try the burger. I think you briefly touched on the topic. I'm doing a best Broward Palm Beach list of burgers for May, and they may be on it.
Okay. And somebody else is mentioning the Brass Ring Bar in West Palm Beach. Is that one that you're familiar with, or?
I just went there maybe 6-7 months ago for the first time. So it reminds me, if you're into like Le Tub, it reminds me, if we're talking, Hollywood Le Tub, or in Miami Keg South in Pinecrest, one of those thick, just like pub style burgers that you guys seem to really enjoy.
Contender or Pretender or
very good. Yeah, it's very good if you're into thicker burgers. Marcella likes her burgers medium well. And they brought it out medium rare. You should have seen that.
Oh, well, but they could always cook it more. That's why it's always better to be undercooked than overcooked.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Marcella was a medium well person. That might be a deal breaker.
That's a Hispanic thing. My whole family likes well done.
That's also a Jewish thing, an Orthodox Jewish thing. They love to kick. There's a medium well done, and then murder. It's like they like the meat murder.
Yeah, in Spanish we would say chancleta, which is like flip flop, like it's like overcooked.
Yeah, it's shoe leather. That's good stuff.
Okay, let me ask you. You don't want lettuce. I don't know if you want tomatoes, but maybe you do want tomatoes, but just not the green. What are you with condiments? Because another cooking aficionado buddy of mine is really weird about, like, even on burgers, not just hot dogs. Defo has a old school New Yorker, so he's freaking weird if it's anything more than like relish, sauerkraut, and mustard. Anything else, it's a travesty.
Onions good.
Onions are fine
on a
too.
hot dog, sure.
Like ketchup. I'm just mean ketchup, to be brutally honest. Okay. Miami, they do a lot of different things when it comes to burgers. I love the Colombian style when they put all the crap on it and the pink sauce. And then there's another sauce, pineapple. And
that was cilantro sauce and
a whole bunch of crap.
Pineapple. Oh, I draw the line at pineapple.
Used to be my in college. Those perros was like the move. What are you with condiments? Because you don't want all this other stuff. What do condiments do for a burger, for Burger Beast?
And I don't think I didn't notice you pronounced Los Perros correctly.
No, I out of South Florida if I said Los Perros.
Yeah, it's kind of like almost barbecue, right? When there's a bunch of shit piled up. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know if I could curse. A bunch of stuff piled up on. I should have asked that before I said it. Right?
We'll edit it out later. Don't worry.
When there's a bunch of stuff piled up on barbecue or burgers, I'm kind of suspicious as to whether they're trying to hide what's underneath. But do I like sauces? Absolutely. Mostly use them for fries. I do love Colombian burgers, but I kind of stick to places that use really good beef. So there's a food truck called Monster Burgers. Their burger is phenomenal if you just had it without the sauces and everything piled up on it.
Hey, you forgot to plug your own condiment there. The Burger Beast guava
sriracha ketchup.
Sriracha ketchup. Yeah. So
yeah, it's in semi-retirement right now. So
okay.
And actually, at the event, we're gonna have gallons, so you'll be able to like pump it on there if you like. Hellman's is gonna have a few sauces. We're gonna have Smoke and Nose barbecue sauce there. A couple other. My hot sauce will be the green serrano hot sauce. So there'll be a little condiment station also for people who want to just put stuff on their burgers.
Nice. Hey, somebody's asking about when you've been to New York, have you ever gone to Peter Luger's Steakhouse for lunch? Because at lunchtime, that's the only time they offer their in-house burger, which I understand is made from like the previous day's scraps. I've had it. It's delicious. I think it's up to $21 now. So have you had it? And what is the highest amount you've ever paid for a burger? And is any burger that's like in that $20 to $30 range ever worth it?
So I have not had the Peter Luger. I haven't been to New York in probably about 13 years.
Mm.
While I was actually, I was born in New York in the 70s, but my family left to Miami in 75. So this is how I feel about New York. Everyone goes there and hypes everything about New York, so I don't ever go there. I don't have an interest. I'm more interested. I'm interested in going to Jersey, Philadelphia, just all the surrounding areas. When we did the road trip last year, I didn't stop in New York. I stopped in Jersey, and then I stopped in Massachusetts and in New Hampshire and Rhode Island, but drove through New York. Although that would be technically a lie, because I stopped when I got up north. I stopped in New York, a turnpike stop for Roy Rogers for our roast beef sandwich.
Well, Brooklyn is not New York. It's a separate borough, and it's my native land. And I think you'd really dig some of the joints, even though it's gotten very gentrified and uppity now. But there's certain classics, and the Peter Luger burger for lunch is one of them. What is the highest amount that you've ever paid for a burger? And are you offended if, I've had some really great burgers around town here that are in the $20 range, $25, $26 burger at a place called Jewel Bistro, which is in Lake Worth. I think it's the finest burger I've ever had, but it's also very pricey. Are you opposed to that kind of stuff on philosophical grounds?
Yeah, kind of. One second, the whole Brooklyn comment. George Motes, who's a friend of mine who wrote the book Hamburger America, he had a program. He's on the Burger Show on YouTube. He has a restaurant opening, burger restaurant called, I think it's called Hamburger America, opening in Brooklyn in May. So nice. I will be up there for the opening. So I will go to Peter Luger, and then
try the burger and let us know.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's not to say that I don't want to eat at these places. I kind of feel like if my time is limited, I'm on a road trip, I'd rather go to a small mom and pop shop in the middle of nowhere.
Right. Nobody's ever heard of Peter Luger's.
Hardly anybody. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Char Hut? We keep hearing that. I don't know how much Char Hut's in Miami, to be brutally honest, but I mean, you drove
the one on State Road 84. He knows.
I think there's there's 3 of them left. When Mike and I first became friends, he was pushing me hard. You think he had some ownership in the company trying to get Char Hut. When they introduced, I think it was a bigger burger, right?
Yeah, a brisket, that like 1/3 of a pound or half-pound brisket blend melt. I love those things. Yeah,
it's better. Yeah, it's better than the regular burger. The first time I had Char Hut was some point in the 90s. I would just randomly drive and get lost and then go eat somewhere. And I had a chili dog from Char Hut at a drive-thru. And I do know, I always kind of throw the history. The original Char Hut was a former Royal Castle.
Oh, that's funny.
He loves that history. All right, there you have it, folks. Beast, thanks so much for the time today. Everybody, go get your tickets for Hamburger House Party this Friday night. I'll be there. I have a +1 if you want to go, Lubie, or if
that's
you
interesting.
I
may have
you might run into the Polyman down there.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Still in Magic City Casino, the Polyman.
That's good. Nice. The old trivia compatriot. Is it age restricted? Is it 21?
Yeah, 21 and over. Yeah.
Okay, good. So I can't take my daughter to be the designated driver. I will have to find somebody else. But thanks, Beast. Again, burgerbeast.com to get your tickets. Always good to chew the fat with you, so to speak. And who are you rooting for in the Final Four this weekend? You're a big sports fan. I know that.
Me? I know absolutely nothing about what's going on.
UM or FAU? Boca or the Coral Gables? None of the above?
I don't know. Who serves a better burger?
Who serves a better burger? That's actually a good question. Palm Beach or Dade?
We'll see. All right. Well, that's going to be fun. Beast, thank you very much. We got some more business to take care of before we wrap up the show. And we're going to talk a little bit about our friends at Visit Lauderdale, Greater Fort Lauderdale. And we're excited that Nikki Mohan and myself will be going out to Christina Wan's Mandarin House on Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale this Thursday for our visit for celebrating Women's History Month. And we'll be talking with the owner, Christina. And it's all part of the whole Greater Fort Lauderdale welcoming everybody under the sun. And that means every flavor, every dish under the sun. And for all the foodies out there There's so much going on here. Come on, come all, get ready to savor every flavor and every moment, from dockside dining with breathtaking views along the Intracoastal and the Atlantic, lively cafes along Las Olas Boulevard, and award-winning chefs serving up every cuisine imaginable. There is a world-class culinary scene waiting for you here. So come stay and play in Greater Fort Lauderdale. So many great events coming up. Tortuga Festival in the next few weeks. And it's just, there's going to be so many places to visit and check out, great establishments all over town. It's not just downtown Fort Lauderdale, Las Olas anymore. You can go up to Defoe's neck of the woods, Lauderdale by the Sea. That place is happening. Commercial Boulevard, A1A. That's just enough different places to eat at for a month. And never mind Atlantic Boulevard in the great town of Palm Beach. Palm Beach. What am I talking about? Pompano Beach. Pompano. And it's just booming along that whole corridor. I mean, these are the things that are going on here. And don't forget the thrilling nightlife scene, the Visit Lauderdale Ale Trail, the hidden speakeasies, rooftop bars, expert mixologists serving up amazing cocktails. It's a never-ending culinary and libation celebration in Greater Fort Lauderdale, and everyone's invited. So for more information about the latest events, promotions, deals, go to visitlauderdale.com.
And when we return, we wrap up this burger-filled edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back, going a little overtime, but that was well worth it today with Burger Beast Sef Gonzalez. He's just, he's passionate about his burgers and all his.
I'm glad that they joined in, because that's my favorite part. It's just quick fire.
Yeah, we'll get the questions going. That's what it's all about. The whole, the inclusiveness of the whole, the internet broadcasting, whatever we're calling this. I don't even know what
Digital streaming.
Streaming. That's it. That's the word. Streaming. Andy, of course, has the comment of the day.
I love that Andy's taking odds on will Defoe's voice be better by tomorrow, and he's rooting for Defo to be better, but betting against it.
Well, that sounds like me, something I do, totally conflicted and against himself. But again, the comment of the day belongs to our friend Andy. Defo is scaring me with that voice. Tell him I'll have the money tomorrow and leave my thumbs alone.
You watch out too, Mayo. You're on my list. Now do we know you have cash?
Hit him with 5 bullets and he's still alive. Yeah. Don, he's slipping, but Defo is hanging in there. We hope you get better. We hope you get your.
I feel fine. The voice, I'm surprised how bad it is, actually.
It's kind of I don't want to say
It's
the word
not sexy,
sexy.
Michael. No, it's pathetic.
Brody. It's scaring the crap.
And if there's
Not
an
as
orthopedic
pathetic.
surgeon out there that does wrists, any kind of orthopedic
Oh,
doctor,
man.
please contact us
not
because
as
I need to see
pathetic.
somebody. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's not as pathetic as eating a Klondike bar on a stick. That was for
Yeah, you're
our
Svengali,
guy.
my Sarni. It's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
and of course we got to put in the good word for Delaware Seafood Market,
Yes.
Chicken Farm. Go out there, get your holiday orders in. Passover, I can't believe it. It's already a week from. I think is it tonight or tomorrow night is the first Seder. I think it's a Wednesday night is
It's
the first Seder.
a week. It's next Wednesday. It's a week.
Next
from-
Wednesday, a week from Wednesday, and of course Easter Sunday, that following Sunday on the 9th, and you could get all the lamb and the brisket and all the other goodies for your holiday table besides the everyday fresh quality seafood. The stone crab season going only till May 1st, so a little bit more than a month left in that season. Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market is there at 4191 North State Road 7. You know it because it has a big chicken on the roof. You can't miss it. It's also across the street from the old Seminole Classic Casino, a place that Defo and myself are all too familiar with. So check them out. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you, DelawareChicken.com. All right, that's gonna wrap it up today. Defo, we tried to save your voice. I think
Yeah,
we
need
did
some
a
rest. Yeah, for sure.
little rest.
See what happens.
Gargle.
I need you tomorrow morning.
Got all kinds of good stuff. Again, the rest of the week we are on the road. Tomorrow, Even Keel Fish Shack in Lauderdale by the Sea. Thursday, Christina Wands on Federal Highway and 6th. And yes, whoever was asking, it is right next to Shuck and Dive in that shopping plaza downtown Fort Lauderdale. And then Friday, Gulfstream Park, right by the finish line out on the track apron. We are going to be gearing up, all geeked up for a big Florida Derby day where I think there's about 18 races from dawn to dusk. And no, I don't know. I'm making up the number, but it might be, it's usually about 14 races. Usually the day starts at either 10:30 or 11 a.m. post time. And by the time we get to those big stakes races later in the day, I'm going back to the ATM machine, especially if last Saturday was any indication. But it's going to be a great day, and we're going to be this Friday getting ready for it and giving away more brunch tickets. I'm so happy because yesterday's winner on the Sunday brunch, it was a woman her name is Barbara Klein. And she had been in the hat a lot. And she said, this was when she sent in her entry, she said, I've been so close and I would love to win so I could meet up with you all on April 30th. So here goes. She ended up winning with the back door, but she had the one of the horses that scratched, but she got into the hat because the favorite won. And Mark Freed at Grandpa's picked her name out of the hat, so she's going to be meeting up with us on. It looks like it's.
We need to clear with Joe because, which is it fine with me that we have a party there, but we need to make sure.
I think he'll be okay with it. He'll get us a couple of big tables there. They'll clear something out for us. And, we already have 3 people legitimate winners. So we've got 6 people going that day that's going to be on the house that have been contest winners, including our friend Andy and a couple of others. It might actually be 8 of us. So why not invite the whole Lunchbox audience? And again, we'll work out the arrangements in terms of what the pricing will be. But we're going to get that all set up for the end of the month. End of next month. Month away, April 30th. So all kinds of good stuff. All right, that'll do it for today. Defo, rest up that voice, get better. We'll see everybody out tomorrow at Even Keel Fish Shack. For Mike Lubie Lubitz, Jeff Defo, Godfather the DeForest, and the Sef Burger Beast Gonzalez, I'm Mike Mayo saying have a great day. And remember to enjoy every burger and enjoy every sandwich.